It begins in whispers. A rumor traded in the dimly lit backrooms of Moscow antique shops and the encrypted channels of the dark web. They say something is stirring in the dust-choked archives of the old Soviet Union. Long-forgotten documents, brittle with age stamped with the ominous seal of the KGB, are resurfacing. These aren't just any papers. They are blueprints. Meticulously detailed schematics project so ambitious, so audacious, once thought to be the stuff of Cold War legend. I heard about it first from a contact in St. Petersburg, a dealer in sensitive historical artifacts. He spoke of a sudden, insatiable hunger for these designs. It felt less like collecting and more like a retrieval operation. The documents themselves are a strange and compelling sight. They depict colossal structures, bizarre aircraft, esoteric energy devices. Some show plans for entire closed cities dedicated to singular, top-secret scientific pursuits. Others detail nuclear-powered behemoths designed to traverse the Siberian ice or dominate the cosmos. Each line, drawn with the unwavering precision of a state-sanctioned engineer, tells a story of a bygone era, an era of limitless ambition fueled by ideological fervor, and a paranoia that saw enemies in every shadow. Now these ghosts from the past are being summoned into the bright, uncertain glare of the 21st century. The question on everyone's lips is simple: why now? The new gold rush isn't for precious metals, it's for paper and ink. The players in this game are as diverse as they are secretive. Legitimate collectors, academics, historians. They argue that preserving these documents is about understanding the Soviet mindset, the sheer scale of their scientific and industrial ambitions. I met a professor at Moscow State University, Dr. Elena Petrova. She has dedicated her life to cataloging these designs. She spoke with a kind of reverence, describing them as the unsent letters of a dead empire, each one a window into a future that never was. She fears they are being lost to private hands. But beyond the hallowed halls of academia, the race takes on a more competitive, almost desperate edge. Private collectors, oligarchs, wealthy industrialists. For them, owning a piece of Soviet ingenuity is the ultimate status symbol. It's a tangible link to a period of Russian history defined by power and global influence. I was granted a rare look inside a private collection housed in a fortified dacha outside the city. The owner, a man who made his fortune in natural gas, displayed the blueprints like masterpieces, framed and under climate-controlled glass. He saw not just history, but pure uncorrupted genius, a form of raw power that he believed modern Russia needed to reclaim. Then there are the engineers. A new generation of Russian innovators convinced the Soviets were on the brink of breakthroughs abandoned when the Union collapsed. They scour online forums and connect with dealers not for prestige, for inspiration. One of the most compelling theories behind this blueprint frenzy is the idea of a Cold War technology revival. It's a notion that sends a distinct chill down the spine of Western intelligence agencies. The Soviet Union, for all its economic failings, was a technological powerhouse in specific domains. Its military-industrial complex produced some of the most formidable and unconventional hardware the world has ever seen. Think of the Caspian Sea Monster, the aforementioned Ekranoplan, a colossal vehicle that flew just above the water at incredible speeds, undetectable by conventional radar. Blueprints for such machines, once dismissed as Cold War relics, are now being re-examined with intense interest. The logic is unnervingly simple. Why invest trillions in developing entirely new systems from scratch when you can stand on the shoulders of giants, even if those giants have long since crumbled? The Soviet engineers operated under a different set of rules, with near-limitless budgets for defense and a penchant for robust, brute-force solutions. Today's Russian military planners might see value in reviving these concepts and updating them with 21st-century materials avionics computer systems. It's a cost-effective way to achieve asymmetric advantages, creating weapons that Western militaries are simply not prepared to counter. Imagine a fleet of modernized Ekranoplans deploying special forces along a coastline, or silent, deep-diving submarines based on forgotten Alpha-class designs. This revival isn't limited to offensive capabilities. The blueprints also contain designs for vast, hardened underground bunkers, nationwide communication networks resistant to electromagnetic pulses, and civil defense systems on a scale that seems almost unimaginable today. In an era of renewed geopolitical tension, The strategic value of such defensive infrastructure is obvious. The Soviet obsession with survivability, born from the existential threat of nuclear war, has found a new relevance. As one analyst I spoke to in London put it, they aren't just looking for swords, they're looking for shields. The Soviets planned for World War III. It seems some in Moscow are reviewing those plans. Beyond the revival of known technologies, there are whispers of something far more ambitious. The obsession with these blueprints may be linked to a quest for what the media has sensationalized as superweapons. These are the projects that existed on the very fringes of Soviet science, often blurring the line between fact and fiction. We're talking about directed energy weapons, advanced particle beams, sonic technology designed to incapacitate entire armies. Many of these projects were officially shut down in the late 1980s, dismissed as too expensive, too impractical, or simply impossible. But the blueprints remain a testament to the sheer audacity of their creators. The most sought-after documents, according to my sources, are those related to energy and space. The Soviets were pioneers in nuclear technology, and not just for power plants' bombs. Schematics for compact mobile nuclear reactors are reportedly fetching the highest prices on the black market. These could theoretically power anything from a remote Arctic base to a new generation of strategic weapons, like a nuclear-powered cruise missile with virtually unlimited range. President Putin himself has alluded to this concept in speeches. The blueprints represent a potential shortcut to achieving these futuristic and, frankly, terrifying capabilities. The allure of space is equally powerful. While the world remembers the Sputnik satellite Yuri Gagarin's historic flight, the Soviet space program had far grander and darker ambitions. Blueprints for the Polyus space weapon system were real, a megawatt carbon dioxide laser designed to be deployed in orbit. The prototype was famously launched in 1987 and failed to reach orbit, but the designs exist. The ripples of this blueprint mystery are spreading far beyond the borders of Russia. In Washington, Brussels, London, a quiet but intense alarm is sounding. Satellite surveillance over known Russian research facilities and military bases has been increased. Any new construction, any unusual energy signature, is being scrutinized with a new sense of urgency. Intelligence committees are holding closed-door sessions, trying to piece together the fragments of information trickling in from human assets and electronic intercepts. The official posture is one of calm vigilance, but behind the scenes, there is a palpable sense of unease. The West is watching, and it doesn't like what it's half-seeing. The media has, predictably, latched onto the more sensational aspects of the story. Headlines blare with talk of Putin's doomsday files, the Red Army's ghost weapons. News channels run speculative segments featuring retired generals and security experts who paint grim pictures of a new Cold War. This coverage, while often exaggerated, has a real-world effect. It shapes public perception and creates political pressure on governments to do something. The anxiety is contagious. Suddenly, old Cold War-era fears of unstoppable weapons and a nuclear-armed adversary with unpredictable intentions, are seeping back into the public consciousness. As my investigation draws to a close, I am left with more questions than answers. The journey has taken me through a labyrinth of history, ambition, and paranoia. From the dusty archives to the gleaming boardrooms of the new Russian elite, one thing is clear. These Soviet blueprints are more than just historical artifacts. They are a symbol of a nation grappling with its past and plotting a course for its future. Nostalgia for lost power, a burning desire to reclaim a place at the top of the global hierarchy. The mystery is not just about what the schematics contain, but about what they represent in the modern Russian psyche. The race to acquire these documents is a race to control the narrative of Russia's destiny. Quiet, steady innovation in the growing tech sector? Or militaristic, grandiose ambitions of the Soviet predecessor? The blueprints offer a shortcut to the latter. Mega projects, state-driven power, technological might that commands fear and respect. We do not know what this new structure will look like, whether it will be a marvel of innovation, a fortress of defiance, or a weapon of unimaginable power.